Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 15th of August. I'm going to give you the key strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to share with you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in greater detail. Now, this is a week when Mars is very much at the center of the celestial story. And this is because he is going to be moving into a new home on Saturday. But Mars usually takes 45 days or 6 weeks to transit through each zodiac sign. But when it moves into Gemini on Saturday, it's going to be there for 7 months and 6 days. So a really extended period of time. This is because every 2 years Mars goes into a retrograde. Last time it was in the sign it governs of Aries. This time Gemini, very much about how we interact, particularly in terms of our communication, can bring more drama, can also push us to get a bit fitter and more active in the months to come. However, this week does begin with a rather limiting opposition between the Sun and Saturn. Perhaps there's a relationship issue that does need very carefully considering. But Mars is going to be squaring up with the Sun this week and also embracing the quarter moon in Taurus on Friday. And that's saying to us not to be too impulsive when it comes to our romantic situation. Funnily enough, Venus, also in the glamorous Leo, along with the Sun, is forging a beautiful link with Jupiter, the planet of fortune. Now, maybe it is the case that with Jupiter going backwards, we could be feeling a little bit less optimistic, but these two planets are known as the greater and lesser benefics. So the two planets of fortune. So something positive can still come through at the heart of this week. But it is true that Mercury, in its home zone of Virgo, does go into an opposition with Neptune later this week. So if we are planning anything that requires some precision, we really need to concentrate. But if there is something we want to work towards that's much more tangible, the angle between Mars and Pluto before it moves into Gemini is actually very, very good for worldly stuff, as long as we use the passion and power of that combination in the right kind of way. So we're not trying to just get what we need from a situation, but if we work in a productive way and very systematic and step by step, the passion and the willpower of that combination can really bring some results. But later in the week, yes, we have that transition of Mars into Gemini. Now, if you'd like to check out my deep dive video, please see the link beneath this video. But also on Saturday, Mercury enters its shadow period. It won't go into retrograde in the sign of Libra until the 9th of September, but it is going to next week move into the sign of Libra. It's in Virgo at the moment, so just be aware that when it comes to those communications, the need for clarity is vital, but the passion of Mars moving into Gemini will certainly give us all a little bit more capacity to articulate our ideas or ventilate our ideas in a positive way. And please stay with me now for each of your 12 zodiac signs. If you would like to embrace more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. Also, my special package of 30% off. If you order now, I'll give you your year 2023 personal forecast plus the rest of this year 3. Please see the link beneath this video. And finally, I've raced through the 101,000 subs mark. I'd be so grateful if you've yet to subscribe if you did so now. If you have already, thank you so much for your support. But please click or tap on the bell notification symbol if you've yet to do so. So Libra, your week commencing the 15th of August forecast sees Mars come into the end, the last week before it moves on Saturday of its journey of the previous 5 weeks through your sector of passions and where you're most invested. Now this is quite a hot place for Mars to be in terms of our desire, but the Sun and Saturn, the Sun in your sector of your future hopes, but also your friendships and social world, that's in opposition with Saturn in a retrograde in your sector of romance and personal expression. So as much as Mars may give you the desire to bring something about, if something isn't quite flowing in a relationship as you want, you could be acutely aware of it. Yet despite those complications, your ruler Venus is urging you to try to keep the lines of communication open. Your diplomacy is one of your great strengths, and the link between Venus and Jupiter could bring a real slice of fortune. So if you're single, if you've reached that point when you're really wondering when a possible partner will emerge or even a date, I think suddenly the link between Venus and Jupiter could bring about something very positive. It may be that you just want to get together with a very good friend and have a catch up, and it could prove delightful. But of course, on Friday we do have a quarter moon, and that does see Mars align with the moon and both square up to the Sun. So the 8th, 11th house energy can point towards where you may feel that someone's being a bit possessive or controlling or clingy, perhaps even in a friendship or perhaps in a personal relationship. But Mars moving into your 9th house on Saturday is really significant, because if you've really tried to make something work, I think this is the point where you may decide to make that bid for freedom if you just can't see that working out for you. But equally, if your romantic situation is good and you're just wanting to bring more colour and adventure to your life, you're sure to find it over the next 7 months and 6 days. Almost all Librans will be travelling somehow, whether that's physically or in your mind, because the 9th house is a very exciting dimension for Mars to travel through. It is true that Mercury's retrograde doesn't begin until the 9th of September, but its shadow period does also begin as this week draws to a close. And because it's in a position in your situation which could just give you a few self-doubts, and it's opposed by Neptune, if you are having a big discussion or wanting to bring something out into the open that's quite sensitive or delicate, it will be really important to make sure that you're very clear in your mind before you actually open up. But I think that Mars arrival in Gemini, your sister air sign, is truly exciting for you for some months to come.